Hey everyone, now that we're pretty deep into this quarantine period, you may be running out of ideas. After all, there are only so many times you can go live, so many tweets you can send, and so many Netflix shows you can binge. But there's a lot of things that artists can do right now to help their career in the long run, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Mishko at 10 and 8 Management. He put a list out earlier this week that had a lot of these ideas in it, and it really gave me the foundation for this video. So if you haven't followed 10 and 8 Management or his work, make sure you check them out. Now back to the topic at hand. What should you be doing with your time? I mean, I assume that you've watched Tiger King, you've probably gone on IG Live a few times, and if you're able to perform over a live stream as an acoustic artist or as a DJ or something along those lines, you've probably done that as well. But that's just scratching the surface. Here's a list of things you can do, and I will make sure to give further explanation for anything that needs it, but some things might be short and sweet and to the point. First and foremost, refresh your online presence. That means your social media pages, your official website, and your streaming profiles. Go through all of them with a fine-tooth comb. Add a new bio. Refresh your pictures. Make sure that you're actually using them all and delete anything that you're not. Put your best foot forward and make sure anyone finding you during this time has all the accurate information they need to become a devoted fan of your music. After that, go through your old email communications and check in with anyone in the industry that you've tried to network with or even successfully networked with in the past. That means record labels, agents, managers, anyone that you still want to work with. Reach out to them, check in, see how they're doing, see how they're surviving, and maybe something will happen from there. Right now, everyone is home, everyone has a little bit more time to do emails, and everyone is a little bit more open to communication because honestly, we desperately need human connection. So take advantage of that. Check in with people and start working on those relationships. And while we're on the topic of updating things and checking in with your professional friends, go ahead and update your BMI, ASCAP, Sound Exchange, all of those performing rights organizations. If whatever you're a part of, make sure that your information is up to date, your mailing address, your billing address, your business name. I know that these might seem like minutia, very fine point details that you often don't think about having to look at, but now's a good time to double check your stuff and make sure that everything is accurate. Keeping with this theme of covering bases, now is also a good time to organize your merch. I know if you're an artist that tours a lot, you have a lot of things and a lot of boxes, possibly in a lot of different places. Some of it may be available for sale online, some may not. But right now, it's the perfect time to go through everything, make sure that you have all the sizes that are listed online, and that you list anything that you are not currently selling. We may be home for a while, so if you have merch, get it out there and give your fans a chance to support you. And finally, along the lines of updating things and collecting things and going over stuff, this is a good time to really get your archives in place. I mean, hopefully you're already doing this. Hopefully you have folders on your computer that have old photographs, demo recordings, songs in progress, old videos, performance stuff, whatever it happens to be, your archives as an artist. Now, this is important for a bunch of reasons. For one, you just want to be able to have this stuff, to look back on it, to follow your progression, see what you can fix, see what you can change, see how you've grown as a musician. But also, especially right now when people are creating things like Patreon and Twitch, it's a great time to start getting those archives out to the fans who support you the most. A great example of this would be the group Circa Survive, who's using their Patreon to share a bunch of stuff that they've just had in their archives that has never been released. That includes demos, that includes live recordings, that includes tour videos, all sorts of things that they've never shared before, but they have always just kind of kept on a hard drive or where have you. They now have a chance to share that with their fans who are willing to pay money for access. So make sure that you have those things, and that you're collecting them, and that you're taking care of them. Because whether or not you need them right now, you will likely be able to access and leverage them at some point in the future for your own gain. So make sure that that stuff's in order. Once all that housekeeping stuff is complete, there's also a lot of fun stuff you should be doing right now. So let's go ahead and get to that. Now, I don't know what gear you have at home, whether or not you are ready to record, but you definitely have at least a smartphone, and that's enough to get started. First and foremost, if you play guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, anything along those lines, now is a great time to start making playthrough videos. That's where you sit down, play your song in a manner that allows people to see how you do what you do. And I know that that may seem simple, but people love consuming this kind of content. And if you have a lot of songs, you can make a lot of videos that you sit on and release regularly over the next couple weeks or months or even years, depending on the size of your catalog. So just make them all right now. Everyone's at home, you have nothing better to do, just start making content. Along those same lines, break down the gear that you use. What pedals do you use? What strings? What sticks? How do you set up your kit? What type of amp do you use? break all that down in videos that your fans can consume, and you can splice it up in a billion different ways. You can put clips on social media, you can put the full videos on YouTube, you can save them all for a Patreon, anything along those lines, but get going. Speaking of using your smartphone to get ahead, I think that everyone that is playing music should be using Instagram Live right now, especially if you already have some type of community there. But take it one step further. Don't just log on randomly and go live. Make it an event. By this I mean harness your email list, send out messages, tell people what time you're going online, days or even a week in advance, and make it something that people make it a point to tune into. And when you're there, do whatever you want. Take a Q&A with fans, share screens by going live with fans one at a time and just talking to them, catching up with them. The vast majority of your efforts right now should just be basic engagement. Talk to people about what's interesting to you, what's interesting to them, and start nurturing those relationships so that you can slowly start to promote your new stuff, and then when you get back out on the road, move them all the way into the point of actually buying something. We're creating that funnel of sales right now, if you will, and the big part of that is just basic engagement. So right now, find 1, 2, even 3 days a week where you're comfortable going live at a very specific time, make it into a show poster, a tour poster, whatever you want to say, and start promoting it to your fans. Tell them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Catch us on Instagram Live. We'll be taking your questions, we'll be playing acoustic songs, we'll be doing a little bit of whatever is interesting to you, and get that word out there, and then just keep pressing it. Promote it the same way you would a new single or a new tour. Just make sure people are aware of it and stick to that schedule and go live and engage with your fans. That is going to help you more right now than probably at any other point moving forward, but it also lays a great foundation to promote next time you are out on the road and you are actively promoting new stuff. And in between those IG Live events, why not try going live with some of your other friends in music? I mean, right now all musicians are home, as I've said several times in this video, and we'll try not to say too many times in the future, but because of that, people are going on IG regularly. And a big thing that can help artists at every level is forging a community around their music alongside other artists who share a similar sound or a similar vision. This is a great way to move forward as a group, and now is a good time to start laying the foundation of that community by going live with your favorite fellow musicians and talking about what you're both working on and how you're surviving the pandemic and what it was like to play shows together before the pandemic and what you're going to do together after it all ends. Just keep fans engaged. Give them a reason to care about you and the artists near you that you believe are working towards the same goals. And speaking about working with other artists, why not take the chance now on working with them through songwriting? Maybe you help one of your fellow artists write the next song, or maybe you ask them to help you write a song. Do a little bit of collaborating, do a little bit of experimenting, because right now is a great opportunity to try stuff that you may not actually have time for in the future. Because you never know when you're going to be on the road and they're going to be at home, or vice versa, and you're just not able to make your schedules work. Right now, everyone is pretty much on the same schedule, so take advantage of that and reach out, collaborate, combine your efforts to try to create something new. Maybe it's a song for your project, maybe it's a song for theirs, maybe you'll create a new project along the way. Anything can happen, and now is a great time to put that idea to the test. Another good way to try building an audience right now is by joining TikTok. It's the most popular platform in social media globally right now, with more than 500 million monthly users. And you can get in on that right now because you're at home and you have a lot of time to make content. So start a TikTok account and post 5, 10, however many videos a day you're able to, and do it constantly. Do the silly dances that other people are doing. Share clips of your music videos. Share clips of you performing. Just engage with people. You might not get it right out of the gate. You might not take off really fast. But if you just keep trying and you just keep creating content, you're going to start appearing in people's For You pages and your views are going to rise. I know lots of people who had no idea how the platform worked that just started creating content and one day ended up in someone's For You page and suddenly went viral. It can happen to you. It's happening to people every single day, and now is the perfect time to try it. And to bring things all the way back around to talking to other music professionals, now is a really good time to be pitching music outlets. And I'm talking 5, 10, 15 outlets every single day, because there are a few keys to really getting coverage. One is making great music, which I'm going to go ahead and assume that you've done, or at least you really believe that you've done, and confidence is a big part of it. The second is reaching people when they have the opportunity to listen to new music. And there's never been a better time to try to get people to listen to your music than right now, because music writers everywhere are scrambling for stories, especially with the really high-level artists postponing releases. There's a lot of empty space online mind that needs filled with content, and you have content to offer. So reach out to those journalists, take those chances, reach out to the billboards and pitchforks and stereo gums of the world, but also places like The New Noise or The Alternative or New Fury or New Sounds or any one of the hundreds of thousands of music blogs out there. Get out there, start promoting yourself, start building those relationships so that when things in the industry start rolling again and everyone is super busy and you have a new single or a new tour to promote, those writers that you started a relationship with during quarantine are going to remember you and they're going to want to keep promoting you because you forged a relationship together. So get out there and promote yourself to the journalism and media professionals of the world. And also, probably my favorite thing that artists are doing right now, create cover songs. Whether that is a professional recording of something that you do using gear you have, or a nightly IGTV performance like Drew Holcomb or Ben Rector have been doing on Instagram, whatever you're able to do. People love cover songs. There's nothing better than seeing your favorite musician cover your favorite song by another artist. And if you're doing that regularly, once a week, twice a week, 5 nights a week, 7 nights a week, as is the case with Drew Holcomb and his wife Ellie Holcomb, then people are going to be tuning in for that. That's must-see content that they're going to either consume either in real time or after the fact on YouTube or another service. So get out there and start creating covers. Test yourself. Start with something that you know you can play. If you're a punk band, cover a famous punk song. But as fans get used to the idea of you creating covers, start experimenting. Do that Tom Petty cover, or that Drew Holcomb cover, or that Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros cover, whatever it happens to be. Do that song that you've always loved and thought, I'd like to know what I would sound like doing that. This is the chance, because your fans are going to want that content, and it's a great way to give them something new without having to record and burn a whole bunch of material that you've spent months working on. And maybe this one doesn't need to be said, but I feel that it always bears repeating. This is probably the only time in the foreseeable future where most of the music industry has a chance to just breathe and exist and reset and relax and allow themselves to reset their prerogatives. Look at their life and say, am I happy with what I'm doing? There's a whole other video on this that we put out just last week that's about questions you should be asking yourself. So if you haven't watched that already, when this is over, head over and check that one out, because there's also a lot of space right now, in addition to being able to promote and get your name out there and build your career, where you can take a step back and reconsider your priorities and how you're approaching your career to make sure that you're making the most meaningful impact when the industry starts up at full steam again, which I believe will be sooner than later. And until that time, I'll be right here creating videos every single week about the music business. So if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click that button at the bottom of the screen. And if you love this video, let us know. And if you hated it, let us know in all caps. I don't care, I just want to hear from you. We create a ton of content here at Music Biz, and it's always geared towards what you want to see, what you want to hear about. And that's how we come up with the content. So leave us a comment below, and we will try our best to meet your needs. And until then, the only thing that we really ask of you, other than subscribing, of course, is that you take care of yourself, because you deserve it.